Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while since I posted something, just work's been busy, just a lot of stuff's been in the way, but new video now. I have a movie review for you, which I've not done in a while either, is for the newest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain Marvel. The 21st film in this franchise, which is astounding because I think it's only been going for just over 10 years now, and you look at something like Bond, which has been going for nearly 50 years and it's only released 25 films. Granted, different circumstances, it's one actor every time, these can have multiple movies going on at once, but still it's a staggering feat to get this many films out in this short space of time. This movie now gives us the intro to Captain Marvel herself, Carol Danvers, being her Earth name. It's the very first female-led Marvel movie that we've had. Obviously we had Black Panther for a little while, which is the first black all cast, so this is their first foray into the more sort of female side of things. How is the film? Mostly it's good. There are definitely more positives than negatives, but there are some glaring negatives in it as well. I'll start with the positives as I usually do. I really enjoyed the sort of buddy cop sort of comedy between Brie Larson, who plays Captain Marvel, and Samuel Jackson, who is back as Nick Fury. Their sort of backwards and forwards and their little quippy was really funny. There were some really funny moments in that, which I really enjoyed. It was really good seeing how well the CGI is on Sam Jackson to make him look young. Granted, Sam Jackson doesn't seem to age that much anyway, but it was seamless in this. Like, after a little while, you kind of, oh, he looks young. After that, you kind of just got used to it, and you just you're watching, because the Winter on Earth takes place in like 1995, I think. So it's Samuel Jackson looks in 1995, but it was pretty much bang on. You kind of just forgot that Sam Jackson actually is about 70 years old in real life. So that was really good. Also, we had Phil Coulson back from the original Avengers and Iron Man, and he's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. He wasn't as good, but he wasn't on screen as much. So he kind of wasn't that distracting. I really enjoyed the Skrulls. I think they were really good. They're the villains of the piece, especially the main ones played by a guy called Ben Mendelsohn, Australian actor. I won't go too much into them because it is quite of a spoiler to kind of how their role plays out throughout the film. But I really enjoyed their aspect of it. Jude Law is in it. He's really good as well. Again, I can't go too much into his character because that is kind of a spoiler territory, which I don't want to do because I know a lot of you haven't seen the film yet. But other than that, I enjoyed the cast. I thought they were really good. Some of the comedy was really funny. The Goose the Cat is really funny as well. That's a real highlight. I know there's a lot of memes and there's a lot of marketing around the cat. It's definitely something worth checking out. Moving on to the negatives though, for me the film was a bit the colour palette was a bit off really. Apart from Captain Marvel's suit, which is very colourful and very bright, once she gets the iconic suit which the posters that are in the comics, everything else is very sort of bland colour palette where nothing really stood out. It was all kind of this either grey or sort of off yellowy white colour, and that kind of made the film seem a bit sort of drab and a bit sort of bleak until she gets the full suit and all the colours pop out. So you look at something like Thor Ragnarok, which has got loads of colour in it. This was a bit sort of nah. And again, with that, I can't really go into spoilers, obviously, because of the thing with the Skrulls and everything like that. I felt the whole thing was very predictable where it was going to go, especially if you've seen some of the other Marvel movies, especially if you've read some of the comics as well, even seen some of the trailers. It's very obvious where these sort of twists and stuff are going to come into it, and I thought that was all a bit nah. It was a film that kind of, I think, where we've had so many Marvel films now, and this film suffers from it. We've had so many intros to characters now. I think we can just have an adventure take place. And this was kind of, you needed to introduce her, but I think you could have done it throughout other films. I think you could have skipped this, gone straight into Endgame, have her arrive there, some tidbits of her backstory, then go do this film. I think that probably would have been better rather than have this, because all kind of you're just waiting for right, this is this point, this is when she falls down, this is when she kind of learns who she's going to be, and this. It's all a bit sort of which I thought was a bit sort of plugging the man in, but I think that suffers from having so many Marvel films, and where we've had some really good sequels which generally tend to be a little bit better once the character's been established. I think going forward I do want to see more of her, more of Captain Marvel. I want to see where it goes. They kind of lead it into the way the film kind of leaves it. She doesn't have to bleed straight into the MCU. There's adventures she can have outside of that before she kind of comes into contact in Avengers Endgame, which we know because it's all in the marketing that she's going to be in it. It was a teaser at the end of the film. But other than that, I would recommend seeing it. It's a good, fun film. Again, there's some really good comedy aspects in it. There were a couple of reveals as well, because it is a prequel. It is set obviously in the mid-90s. That kind of lead into other things that we know to happen later down the line. Some of it's quite good. There is one of them that explains something that happens to one of the characters. I can't say who, but it is really dumb. I really wish they didn't go for it, but that is what we have now, so you've just got to deal with it. But other than that, it is a film I would recommend. It's kind of good to, I wouldn't say it's an essential viewing leading up to Endgame, but I think it's something just to kind of get your kind of appetite wet, getting ready for that film. I think it's something definitely worth watching. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I do have something planned though. Throughout April, I'm going to be listing in order every Marvel movie, all 21 of them, in a sort of ranking sort of thing. So what I think was the best, what I think is the worst, all 21. It will be a series of videos. I won't do it all in one because that would be very, very long. But I'm going to do that all for April, leading right up to April 25th when Avengers Endgame does get released. So hopefully that's going to be something that you guys will be looking forward to. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.